O te ahwede ya udam tum sonku komi kuro ma kurase komi kuro ma chima suem ko dum so ayeku yai enka yetu Galamsey etiesu na wosu na ya ba.
On your show, the guys who are doing the Ochere work, I love them. Who are they?
Even with the idea, you won't see them.
And sometimes you quarrel with them. Oh, they make
hey, more from us.
But where do you learn that style from? It's a really good, engaging style. I can't stop watching. I mean, it's just amazing.
When I'm doing radio, I want to be able to interact with the people and get feedback. So when I came, I saw a very fantastic video of yours from 1999.
Yeah, the video.
I'm sure these were the times that you're supposed to look straight into the camera.
Yes. You can't
speak.
No interaction.
No interaction. I came in and I said that style of journalism I can't do. You know me, you people are too professional with the work. I want to be able to localize.
Express yourself, yeah.
Yes. So when I'm doing it, now when I was on Angel FM, anytime I'm about to speak, I call them to come and sit down. Okay. So I tell them a story. Then their reaction will give me what I think.
Oh, you want to have an object for the narration.
Adom Otchere Akoshia Okatakyie Afrifa. Good evening Ghana so. Okatakyie Afrifa any Ghana for nyina team up a demonstration enwa day ama police force omunya abotre na ba bia aduro mu fancy ho a me yo interview e wo page we so mo chirichiri mu ade kopoten e course wankasa se say ya ye kasa yi owo eye po Adom Otchere fidie so good evening Ghana e de mu nchiri mu akọ e de kopoten e kosi ye ne ade konti a wo ye saa ne ade ade ene anya asem ketwa ye nyina ye nkwai ne enkotie nsema hodo e course time a Okatakyie Afrifa Ekuonaba Paul Adom Otchere no omienu team up edin komo no yenkwai de course.
Thank you so much for all of you who are watching Charlie Okatakyie today. You've made our numbers go through the roof. Okay, the former Attorney General is not. Your Excellency, hi. Please stop because you that you should stop those things. Thank you very much. Madam Vice President, welcome back to Ghana. We are happy that you are here. Okay. Now, Okatakyie Afrifa led a demonstration, but he has been leading these demonstrations on Galamsey for a long time. Okatakyie, what was the first demonstration you led against Galamsey? Which year?
Good evening.
Yes.
Good evening to your viewers from far and near. I saw you giving it to my constitutional law lecturer. That's the assessor inside.
Oh, he's a beautiful man.
Yesterday he came there. When I saw him, I just bowed and said, "Good evening, sir."
Oh, you saw him yesterday?
Yeah. When we were almost done with the demonstration, he came around. He wanted to be sure that all went well, and I think when I saw him, because I revere him, I just bowed and showed him respect. Yes, he is, and he is a very intelligent and brainy person. So when you were giving it to me, I was like, okay, that's my lecture. But then. It is what it is. So you were asking me about demonstrations that I've led in this country.
Yes, the Galamsey.
Yes, with Galamsey, I've taken different steps. Myself and my colleagues, we've taken different steps in fighting this menace. But unfortunately, people do have selective hearing, selective amnesia. They decide to choose what they want to remember and what they want to listen to. Other than that, we are in this country when I led Fix the Country demonstrations.
With Oliver?
Side by side. But what people forget is that the Fix the Country demonstration, when Oliver came in first, nobody knew Oliver. So it was myself, Captain Smart, and quite a few other people who were known.
Captain Smart was inside?
Yeah, Captain was inside.
Oh, that's
so
interesting.
all of us were at the forefront of the fight. And when we were done, we went to Takoradi to do demonstration. All these were done in the era of Ekuonaba.
1921?
Yeah, that was 2020, 2021. When I was a full member of the MPP, but yet principle is principle. It does not matter who is in government. Besides that, I took it upon myself with my colleague, Kwame Apiakobi of a Kesman Morning Show. We went all the way to Asankregwa, and we did citizen arrest when it was about a month or two to election, such a crucial election like 2024. We were the ones that started the fight against Galamsey, which became very topical, if you remember.
Yeah, the 3 months to the election.
And I said, I do not care whether it will go against my party or it won't go against my party. From there, we went to Bomfa Santiachim, where we uncovered that the chairman, the then MPP chairman, I don't know if he's still Chairman Luther, was engaged in some illegal activities. We came out. We said that we were going to expose him. And I did same without having to look back and say that because he's my party chairman, I'm going to overlook things. So this fight...
Didn't the MPP fight you?
Well, obviously your people will be fighting you, but I don't care. You should know me by now. When I believe in a cause and I am fighting for it, even if it's left with me alone, so long as I am clear with what I'm saying and what my conscience is, I think I'm fine. I don't care whether they fight me or not.
No, I think you've established that credibility, having worked, the Galamsey is your focus.
Yes.
And so what's the latest on Galamsey?
So the destruction of our water bodies, we thought by the coming into force of this government, the social contract between us and them, since we gave them the power, they were going to take some extraordinary measures to deal with the Galamsey activities. But unfortunately, it looks like they are doing the same thing that the Ekuonaba government was doing and expecting different results. So we sat down and we said that we cannot sit down for the government to throw dust into the eyes of the people. So we need to bring the Galamsey issue at the forefront of our conversation. How could we have done that? The only way we could have done that is to raise awareness first through demonstration, which we did yesterday. It was supposed to take a 3-day demonstration, but upon a discussion with the police today, this morning, we had to put it on hold for the police to reorganize themselves and come back, which when we later in the conversation, we probably will go into it.
So you're not continuing tomorrow?
So we are not continuing tomorrow, but the fight still continues unabated. The fight against Galamsey, illegal mining,
this
and its
issue about
related
some
activities.
law has to be repealed. I heard Ken Ashibe on Joy FM, I think today, and or yesterday. He was backing you. And he was concerned about a law that should be repealed, that everybody agrees should be repealed during the opposition time with President Mahama, and now they are not repealing it. Can you educate us on that?
So, Paul, this is the petition that we're supposed to send to the president on the last day that we would have been done with the... And we have put in here that 4 things that this government ought to have been doing, but they are refusing to do. 1, when they were in opposition, they told us that the Ekuonaba government should declare a state of emergency on all mining activities, so that all of us will come to the drawing board and have a conversation. All stakeholders will have a conversation. Then we will have a cogent plan as to how we can extract our minerals without having to destroy our water bodies and our forests. Yet, more than 100 days in office, the president is unable to declare the state of emergency, which his government was the one telling Ekuonaba to do. Then in opposition, they told Ekuonaba to do. We are telling the president that if you can use 3 months to be able to establish a Galamsey board led by Sami Gyamfi.
What's Galamsey board?
The one Sami Gyamfi.
There's a gold board.
I call it Galamsey board because in one breath you say you are against illegal mining. Yet the activities of this Galamsey board is inadvertently going to promote Galamsey.
How?
You say that you want 12 tons of gold every month. But then you are not buying this gold from the big mining companies like Newmont, like Anglo Gold. You are going to buy it from small-scale miners, quote unquote, small-scale miners. When you and I know, Paul, that when we say small-scale mining in this country, it is only on paper that they are described small-scale miners. But the moment they get to the ground, none of the activities are in conformity with the rules that governs the activities of small-scale mining. So when you are a government, that sets up a board which says that they are going to target, the main object of the board is to buy gold, and the target is to get more than 12 tons of gold every month from small-scale mining. What are you doing? You are indirectly promoting the illegal mining activities, period. Now, beyond that, we are asking the government that LI 2462, which allows people to enter into our forest and destroy it. Now, when they were in opposition, they argued vehemently that the Ekuonaba's government should repeal, they didn't say amend, repeal that law. Unfortunately, it looks like they are not being honest with themselves. Right after being voted for, this government say, oh, we've come, we've seen, so for that matter, we are no longer going to repeal the LI 2462, but we are going to amend it. And we are telling President Mahama and his government that that is not part of the social contract that you signed with us. You gave us your word that when you come in, you are going to repeal the LI 2462. Paul, beyond the LI 2462, there is another LI 2404, which stipulates exactly what this government ought to be doing, and yet it is not doing. It has even gone ahead under Section 6 and Section 8 to prescribe how excavators, earth-moving machines, needs to be documented, needs to be tracked, needs to be engraved with serial numbers, unique serial numbers. And even in the event that a person refuses to do same, when they are arrested, they must be put before the law court. And yet this government is refusing to do same. And we are saying that we are going to use the RTI bill write to the Minerals Commission on grounds of the LI 2404 to provide us with the number of excavators, which so far they've been able to engrave per the law that is supposed to help them operate. So clearly this government is unwilling to fight the illegal mining.
Why is that so? Is somebody benefiting from it?
So at this point,
they make money from it?
Of course, you know, Paul. When we started this fight and we got to the Galamsey...
okay, hold on. Let me ask you. Hold on. Let's do a scenario. I'm a politician. I'm a big minister. How do I make money from Galamsey?
Oh, when you... Paul, it's very clear. Those who are the Galamsey side, they know that when people are being given concession, even without you getting into it directly, when you are being given concession...
So I can go to Minerals Commission, give concession to Afrifa is my friend.
You don't even sometimes need to go to the Minerals Commission. You have to go to a certain DCE, go to a certain regional minister, and you'll be given a concession area for which you'll be paying dividends to the minister or the DCE. This is trite knowledge.
You mean illegal dividends?
Illegal dividends. This is trite knowledge.
For getting the concession.
That is the more reason the ministers and the DCEs are unable, that is for want of a better word, to fight the Galamsey because they are benefiting directly from it. And we can pretend as though we don't know that these people...
So they bring cash to the minister?
They bring cash to the ministers and the DCEs. Oh. And this is knowledge at the Galamsey site. Everybody knows it.
Oh, so that's why they are so confident when the police can, they say, oh, clear off from here.
Because the DCU or the MCE is the head of DISEC or MUSEC. So clearly, if the police is going to arrest them...
What is DISEC? So
DISEC, that is the District Security Council. The DCE is the head of it. And if the DCE is
like
benefiting...
the National Security Council is headed by the president.
Yes.
The regional is headed by a regional minister.
Then we have the district, which is headed by the DCE.
Okay.
But the DCE is the one in charge of the DISEC. And if he is benefiting from it, why will he have the political will or the energy to fight that menace? And this is knowledge when you go to Galamsey side.
Galamsey, is it that lucrative to pay DCE, pay minister, pay...
Paul, I am telling you that they are able to buy excavators worth about $300,000. And they tell us that within 2 weeks, they will be able to make more than $300,000 within 2 weeks. And in a month, they'll be able to double that amount.
Who is buying the gold?
The government now says that they are going to buy it by the passing of the Galamsey Board Act. They are clearly going to buy it. Now, it is no longer a place for a liberal market. The government is going to, it's a state-controlled market. Prior to that, it was being bought by all manner of people. That is through illegal means. So you and I know that when people are benefiting from illegal activities, and I keep on saying that it is the politicians and the traditional authorities that are engaged in these activities. Clearly, we know when you go to the Galamsey side, they will tell you themselves. And national security is here. They've gathered enough intelligence. There's a document that I was working with prior to the elections. It was a national security document that they had gone around the whole country, done a survey on the people that are involved in illegal mining activities. And yet, they will not fight it because these are the very people that sponsor their campaigns one way or the other.
Oh, you mean that Akufo-Addo's National Security had done that work?
Oh, they have done that work.
Oh, that's a
and
good thing.
There is a document on it which shows which concession site belongs to who or what. And yet, they won't work with it because they are benefiting from it themselves.
But when people come to contribute to politicians for campaign, do they say that this money is from Galamsey?
Oh, clearly they will know it's coming from Galamsey because Galamsey
people
are known. They are known. They are not even hiding. They are known when you go to
Kumasi. You mean those in the pit digging who look very...
They are not the people that owns the big money. How can they get money to go and buy an excavator worth 300,000? President John Dramani Mahama told us that the Ekuonaba government is aware of the people that are engaged in illegal mining activities. And for that matter, when they deported Aisha One, President Mahama vehemently spoke against it, that law was discriminatory, the act of deporting Aisha One, when in actual fact we are prosecuting Ghanaians to face the full rigors of the law. That is discriminatory. Now he comes to power. Not only is he deporting 1 or 2 of Chinese people, but he says through his Minister of Interior, Mutaka, that now his foreign policy when it comes to the fight against Galamsey is that when he arrests any non-citizen who is engaged in any illegal activity destroying our waters and forests, all he will do is to put the person on the plane and say, bye-bye, thank you for coming to destroy our waters. You go and enjoy all the largesse that you've been able to accrue from illegal activities. And we are saying that Article 17...
I thought that was terrible.
In fact, that act per itself is affront to the Constitution.
Yes,
when you read Article 17, 2 and 3...
Let's talk about 17. Godfrey Dami tells me that when he was Attorney General, he jailed so many Chinese on Galamsey.
Right.
He did. So
Now,
those Chinese in prison now, they'll let them go?
now you, Paul, you've studied law. One of the theories of punishment, when it comes to punishing people, is not just punishing of the person who has committed the act, but it's also serving as a deterrent for people who want to engage in such act.
The prohibition.
So when you are a president, and your foreign policy is that when you arrest Chinese, when you arrest Burkinabes, you are not going to prosecute them. You are not interested in prosecuting them, but you are going to put them on the plane and send them away. What you are indirectly telling them is that the state laws are not going to work. So when I do it and you deport me, I will go and tell Paul that Paul, go to Ghana. It is very lucrative. When they catch you, they won't jail you. And for us, that is discriminatory, which the Constitution and Article 17 clearly speaks against.
But why did Muntaka say that?
Because they have formed Galamsey, Ghana-China Galamsey Board Association.
What's that?
Just recently at Kempiski, we saw Ibrahim Mahama.
The president's brother?
The president's brother. And the crying minister, what's his name?
Crying minister?
The one who cries.
Who is that?
Amakofibua. So,
oh, he's crying?
Yes,
oh,
yes,
yeah,
yes.
you mean the video that
he was crying?
But he was crying about Atkontama and he wasn't crying about
I mean, that for me is a crocodile tears. Because he comes from Elembele.
Yes, I know.
That minister comes from Elembele.
Yeah.
And Galamsey activities has virtually ruined the whole of Elembele.
So that's why he was crying?
No. All this while he has not been crying. Now he comes in, and because he understands the psyche of the Ghanaian people, he wants to use this as a means of socially engineering them that we are working is so hard for us. But we tell the minister, if you believe that the activities of Galamsey is so devastating to which you are crying, you go to cabinet, you sit with the president. You should be crying to the president. So President Okatakyie said the activities of Galamsey is so damning, is so devastating, it's an existential threat. And for that matter, the president should go ahead and issue the state of emergency. You are not doing the same. You call a press conference and you come and cry. As soon as you for me, as solve Galamsey issue. Sabi Ekuonaba ni tissue pa ko behunu so. Enso ka che Ekuonaba so afeli. I don't want to answer. So Paul, we are saying that the government
in that famous speech, did he cite Galamsey?
Yes,
the
clearly.
famous Akufoado's final session address.
If you say Ekuonaba has failed.
No, he said that yours is a way not to govern. He told Akufoado that Akufoado's way
and you think crying is the way to govern? That is a weak leadership that he exhibited right
So
there.
you think that the NDC government doesn't have the political, because
It doesn't have the
George
political.
said within 1 week, Akufoado can stop Galamsey.
And within 1 week, they are not willing to stop Galamsey. They will not. They are unwilling.
Is it that they found out since they came to government that is difficult, or in opposition they knew that they can't
They knew that they cannot fight it because one way or the other. John Mahama had been in government from 2009 as the vice president, in 2013 as the president. He knew the situation, and he knows that this activity of going to arrest people, burning excavators, doing A, B, C, and D, it is not the way to solve the issue. Because Ekuonaba had been doing these activities for the past 8 years, arresting people, burning excavators. And you come in and you are doing exactly what Ekuonaba was doing. So if you knew that you were going to use the same measure to deal with the issue, with the menace that we face, why did you tell us to fight for you and you're going to use extraordinary measures to deal with an extraordinary situation?
Did he use those words?
We are saying it because this thing is an existential threat which we cannot use usual methods to fight it. We believe that the president should go a notch higher by executing the state of emergency that they preached when they were in opposition. For all of us to come back to the drawing board and find our way forward.
And the repeal. And
the repeal of the LI 2462. And again, using the LI 2404 to work. Paul, let me read some portions of the LI 2402.
I'll come to that. But the gold board really said they're going to buy gold not from existing sources that we know, but from small-scale miners?
That is the object of the gold board.
To buy gold from
small-scale miners and not Newmont. Because you can't go and tell Newmont, you can't go and tell Precious Mining, Anglo Gold Ashanti, that when we've gone on a contract with you and you've gained your gold, you should come and sell it to us and not go to the world market. So the gold board is not targeting these big mining companies. They are targeting the activities of small-scale mining. But like I said, when you say you are targeting activities of small-scale mining, of all the hundreds of licenses that has been issued, not even up to 10 in this country conforms with the regulations that governs the activities of illegal mining. Now, what we are saying is that even when you say you've bought gold and you are going to sell it on the world market, Sami Gyamfi knows that there's something called traceability reports, which you are supposed to show. Now, when this traceability report shows that your gold was actually extracted through illegal means which affected our forests and waters, it is not going to be bought by anybody at the gold bullion market. So where are they going to sell the gold? Now we need to look into the activities again, because clearly when they buy gold from illegal mining activities, they cannot sell it at the world London bullion market and other places that we sell gold. So where are they going to sell that gold that they'll be buying?
The China-Ghana mining company will buy it.
The China-Ghana Galamsey Association.
It's not Galamsey, it's mining.
No. They just formed it.
They didn't call it Galamsey. You are calling it Galamsey.
So the more reason that they are not interested in prosecuting Chinese is that one breath, they have formed Ghana-China Galamsey Association. How can they be prosecuting the very people that they have formed association with to go and destroy our water bodies and our forest?
So don't they care about the water bodies being
They
destroyed?
don't, Paul, they don't.
They don't?
And they will never care.
I don't believe that.
So what we have done is that Generational Right Protection Society, upon handling of this petition to the president, which will find a way to get it to him, what we will do is that we will give him some period. If he does not act, we will take it a notch higher by writing to all the various missions across the nation and all international bodies that are concerned with the destruction of our environment. We will do that. If that does not also work, you know that there is African Charter on Human and People's Rights, which part of the article speaks about the right to life, right to healthy environment, right to good sanitation and water. We will file a case at the Human Rights Court against the government, that the government's activity or inaction to be able to deal with the Galamsey menace is causing all these atrocities to our people, and it is against the articles of the Human Rights Charter. So if the government does not listen, we will go as far as taking the matter to even International Human Rights Court. So we have a lot in place to be able to force our government to take extraordinary measures to deal with the Galamsey issue. Other than that, if we are going to use this kit close, they will never do anything about it.
Erastus Asaridonko said that excavators are being retained. He posted something today.
So excavators were seized, and a certain order from above, according to Erastus Asaridonko, ordered for the release of the excavators.
Back to the people.
Back to the people.
The people from whom it was seized.
Now, Paul, I was about to read the LI 24004. Yes, Section 6 of the LI 2404 clearly tells us that when there is an excavator, an earth-moving machine, there should be some steps taken by the Minerals Commission. Now I read it. Section 6 talks about the marking of earth-moving and mining equipment. So in our means and our quest to fight Galamsey, you and I know that but for the using of excavators, but for the using of earth-moving equipment, probably the devastation that we are seeing would have been minimal. The only reason that this devastation is so huge is because people are using excavators. Now, in our quest to deal with it, Section 6 of LI 2404 says that the commission, and here the commission is Minerals Commission. Minerals Commission, that is, shall record the chassis number and conspicuously mark and label. So all the excavators that are being arrested, there is no mark, there is no label. Minerals Commission does not have data on the chassis numbers. Now let's read forward. It says that all earth moving and mining equipment used for mineral operations with the identification code assigned to the earth and moving mining equipment upon registration with the commission. So even before anybody can go into our forest with excavators, they are supposed to go and register with the commission their excavators. Just like registering with DVLA your car. Now it goes ahead to say that monitoring and earth, the mark shall be inscribed or etched in order to prevent people from using different excavators. You are supposed to etch or mark the excavator. Now it says that the mark shall be described on both left and right sides and on top of the earth moving and mining equipment to be used for the mineral operations. Yemusa eye Minerals Commission. Say as it stands now, how many excavators in our forest and one marking are etching a serial numbers and unique identifications number 2. Now he goes ahead to say that the commission shall monitor all earth and mining equipment used for mineral operation using A, install tracking mechanisms and systems for surveillance. Let's ask the commission. This is the law telling you that you are supposed to put some tracking devices in the excavators in our forest. Where are the tracking devices? Have they been able to do that? Are they monitoring? They are not. We are going to file an RTI to the commission to come and tell us how many of these excavators that they have data on. Paul, he goes ahead to tell us that the unmanned area vehicles that include drones for visual and monitoring. So the commission is supposed to be using drones for visual and monitoring. Where are the drones? They are not using it.
Abu says he doesn't find it, doesn't know where they are.
And nobody is being prosecuted.
Pepon Boateng is the one who bought it.
And nobody is being prosecuted.
No,
we take this lightly.
No, nobody.
Something that is threatening our very existence as a people. We come into government, we throw this into the, drones, container, and nobody gets prosecuted. Just for the court of public opinion. Is that what we are going to do? This is the difference that we were promised. This is the reset. But I think we should stop joking. Then he goes ahead to say that owners of the earth moving and mining equipment used for mineral operations shall pay annual monitoring fees to the commission. So even the law is saying that you're not going to use your own money to be able to do the monitoring. And yet the commission is unwilling to be able to do these things. It goes ahead to prescribe that in the event that you refuse to do any of these things as an excavator owner, there is an offense prescribed under Section 8 of this act, that is LI 2404. So clearly these laws are there. The commission, the ministry, this government is unwilling, just unwilling, to be able to take these steps to be able to help us. Because insurance omunumbi. Insurance ama ye abatan womu ano momma no monsa womani ayira no omunumbi. Insurance ama obinyemu anu apon no polo omunumbi. Insurance ama kidney diseases ikosoro omunumbi. It's what we are saying. They can only imagine it, but they cannot understand the plight of the people. And some of us, we've lived it. We've been there. We understand the plight of these people. And we have the voice, we have the platform. We need to fight for what we believe in. And that's what we are doing clearly. Generational Right Protection Society. Just as the likes of Mensa Saba fought the Crowns Act bill to be able to save us a land for the next generation, we believe clearly that we must stand up, we must rise up and fight for the next generation. Other than that, the next generation, I don't want to be counted as such. I don't think you want to be counted as such. So all of us, every Ghanaian, well-reasoning and well-meaning Ghanaian must come on board. It is apolitical. When my party was in government, I fought this menace and I said to myself, if it would take the fight against Galamsey for Ekuonaba to lose, or Bawumia to lose, I don't care. And I still stand by that. In the same
one
vein,
of your photographs of the old one?
Yes, these are the demonstrations I held on several issues. I gave a
But why are you not working with Democracy Hub anymore on this one?
Who?
Oliver. My good friend.
My good friend. Today, I saw he was writing some nonsense on social media.
What did he say?
The demonstration was called off today because the people did not attend. Now, clearly, what is the purpose of demonstration? The sole purpose of demonstration is to raise awareness. As it stands now, as of this morning, the whole of Twitter, we were trending number 1. Galamsey must fall.
Perfect.
The whole of TikTok, we were trending number 1. Perfect. The whole of Facebook, we were trending number 1. So when you've done a demonstration, which in a day, all media houses, it has become a talk of town, everybody is talking about. How do you consider that demonstration as a failed demonstration?
But how many people did Oliver put in his demonstrations? How many were there?
Well, Oliver said he stood in front of the Flagstaff House with 60 people. And for that matter, Oliver, you see, he's my brother. I understand how it hurts when he's not in the forefront, in the middle of discussions. And Oliver, you can keep quiet. I've told you, you are my brother. If you want us to fight on this matter, come on board, let us progress. Because you and I believe you have a genuine heart to fight for the people. Except that some of your methods are sometimes in excess. And I've told you, yesterday we went on a demonstration, a very peaceful one, because we don't want a situation where after the demonstration, the discussions that are supposed to be had will be centered around who beat what, with them,
who removed the police khaki.
So clearly, I want us to deal with this matter. So Oliver, my brother, come back.
Congratulations. Yesterday's demonstration was peaceful. Everything went well.
Right.
And I'm happy that you agreed with the police that it's okay. You made the point. There's no need to go on.
Right.
That's very noble. Let's talk about this. One day I was coming to work and my producer called me and said, boss, Okatakyie has been arrested. And I said, hey, what has he done? He said, we don't know. He's been arrested. So let's find out. So I called my former boss, Ufure Siama, former Minister for Transport. And he said, he's been released. And I said, what was it about? He said he doesn't know. What was that about?
It was in relation to Galamsey.
Oh, are you sure?
Yes.
Well, your guy, I called your guy and he said you were driving behind him.
Okay, so when I say it's in relation to Galamsey, I had closed from school. I went to write exams, and when I was coming back, my security team, we noticed that some car was tracking us. So we did some stopovers, And they know when we did some stopovers. So we discussed as to whether we should go or we shouldn't. We came to a conclusion that we should. And at the time that I was veering off from the main game pass stretch to Christian Village, we saw a team of several well-built men holding AK-47s, using siren, directing me to park and all that. So when they came in, they said, open your car. I said, no, you don't have any right to sit in my car. You know me. I probably will just resist what they were doing. It got to a point they had to say that if I don't do what they're asking me to do, even let me speak to my lawyer, they will not allow me to speak to my lawyer. We stood there for well over 15 to 20 minutes. A certain call was coming through. Oh, order from above. Arrest him. Put him. If he won't go, handcuff him. Put him. Okay, so at some point I said, let's move. Then they moved me all the way to BNI. That is around the Kaukudi.
Greater Accra BNI.
Yes, around the Kaukudi. When we got there, and I'm sure they picked signals that the social media was buzzing and everything. Quickly, they moved me away from BNI to Blue Gate, the main quarters.
Stadium.
Yes, stadium. I went there for well over 1 hour. And all the interrogations being done by my good friend and brother, Osman Alassan. I didn't even know that he was involved in the arrest. Was that I had made a comment to the effect that some national security operatives were guarding people to engage in illegal mining activities. And that was the basis for my arrest.
They wanted to know who are
they wanted to know, but I said that you, national security, you are equipped with all the resources in the world to be able to know who does what or who does not do anything. So if you come and tell me that as a journalist, when I'm giving you information, you have to go through this Rambo style to arrest me, that means I'm not even going to cooperate. So we sat there, we went back and forth. I must also commend Osman Alassan that when he came in, he was very professional. We had a conversation. Then I was released. Subsequently, I was invited again to the national security, following up on the conversations we've had. Then another team from cyber crime unit of the police also came in with a read that somebody had come to make a case which obviously is politically motivated, that I am sextortion, whatever nonsense. I say, okay, clearly. And also, you go me hank of Paul. You walk me all the way to Mifi, to go and do search on a certain warrant. Even the search, at some point, my lawyers have advised that I should not go deep into the matter. So probably we'll put it there. But Paul, no amount of intimidation will stop us from fighting for what we believe in.
Oh, so this whole arrest was about this Galamsey issue?
That is what they say.
And then I was in Kumasi when I heard that there's a video that you went to take a wine somewhere, you didn't pay for it. I was completely... So I asked them, where is the place? I'll pay for it. So I thought you had gone to Accra. So I said, show me the place, I'll pay for it.
There's an usual joint that I normally go to, Mr. Peace Wine in Kumasi.
Yes.
That's my friend, and I go and sit there. But I just sent the Mr. Peace Wine. There's a place called Bulldog. And,
yes, Bulldog.
Yeah, Bulldog in Kumasi, a very popular place. But when I go, I don't go to Bulldog itself, but it's just close. So I went to Mr. Peace Wine. I had a bottle of wine with my friends and all that, and I left.
The lady said you paid for the wine.
No, but it wasn't even me.
Oh,
I did not see the lady. I did not engage the lady. So I think a friend of mine from the UK also met another group of friends from the UK, which he bought a Hennessy for them at the cost of 1,300. He paid for it. And everything thereof, he paid for it and we left. Now the next day, I saw it on social media. Okatakyie Afrifa. I was like, where is this coming from? So upon inquiry, then it came out that my friend had gone to Bulldog to buy Hennessy. So in the video, you hear the girl saying that, oh, Otto Hennessy, 1,300, that's 13 million. And do what you are. But if somebody can pay for 1,300, how much more 65 Ghana cedi?
Oh, the debt in question was 65.
And they were lying that it was 650. It was actually 65.
I was told 600, and I said I'll pay for it.
No, it was not 600. It was actually 2 bottles of Guinness with some water that I think when my friend left, his friends took. So instead of the girl to take the money from the friends, now he was encouraged by one guy called Pepra in Kumasi, who is an NDC, a known NDC member. He is a Galamsey as well. So the grounds for my disgrace was one, because he's a Galamsey, and I'm fighting against Galamsey. Again, because he's a known NDC, and I'm fighting against the NDC supposedly, then he has to put this thing out to disgrace me. But Paul, this is too cheap. If you want to disgrace Okatakyie Afrifa, you must find something more damning to disgrace me. You will see they tell all manner of stories. No, Okatakyie, you're corrupt. Say me corrupt here. Aban no abamu wo police wo CID wo bibia. What me investigation for Okatakyie Afrifa nkotum so you corrupt. Now it becomes a social media war of trying to tarnish my image. But I tell them, I am made of a tougher substance than what they think. These things will not perturb me. These things will not let me stop what I am doing any day, anytime. I am going to fight for a cause I believe in, regardless. Now, they came after me which way. It did not stop me. It did not change anything. How much more am I party for? So I want to use this platform to tell them that we are citizens of Ghana. If we believe that something is not right, it doesn't matter who is in government. We are going to fight what we believe is not right. They can use all machinations, all tactics to come after me. But they will only be emboldening me when they do that. They don't have any idea what I am made of. They will just be emboldening me.
On your show, the guys who are doing the Ochere work, I love them. Who are they?
Even with the idea, you won't see them.
And sometimes you quarrel with them. Oh, they women.
Hey, more from us. But
where do you learn that style from? It's a really good, engaging style. I can't stop watching. I mean, it's just amazing.
But when I'm doing radio, I want to be able to interact with the people and get feedback. So when I came, I saw a very fantastic video of yours from 1999.
Yeah, the video.
I'm sure these were the times that you were supposed to look straight into the camera.
Yes. You can't
speak.
no
You don't
interaction.
move, no interaction. I came in and I said that style of journalism I can't do. You know me, you people are too professional with the work. I want to be able to localize.
Express yourself, yeah.
Yes. So when I'm doing it, now when I was on Angel FM, anytime I'm about to speak, I call them to come and sit down. Okay. So I tell them a story. Then their reaction will give me what I think.
Oh, you want to have an object for the narration.
For the narration.
You don't want to imagine it.
I don't want to imagine it. So it ended up that when I'm talking, then it became it took another turn altogether. So it wasn't planned.
Oh,
it was just that I wanted to speak to them and their reaction. Then I realized that when I'm speaking to them, they also put in a word or two. Then it became part of our...
So if I come for an interview, which I want to, will they be talking when I'm talking to them?
Oh, that one becomes a one-on-one, so they can probably not distract it like that.
But that's... Where do you get idea from to start this thing straight after the election?
Okay, so I don't want anything that puts me under some level of control, which I cannot express myself. So before the election, I'm sure you know, I was going ballistic on any person that I think, former President Ekuonaba and President Mahama, anybody that I think is not doing well. But these are brothers that are in government. They are emotional bunch of people who cannot take criticisms. So they had been calling my boss, former boss, Kokute. They will call him and lambast and cry and cry and cry. So after the elections, when we had quite a few engagements, I just told them that I want to resign. And I resigned. I wrote a letter to resign.
But why does NDC always do that? Why do they want to shut somebody up?
And now as we speak...
I mean, Akufo-Addo never did that.
As we speak, I didn't even want to say, but let me say it here. Kwame Appiah could be of Kesben FM. These people have managed to put pressure on Kesben to suspend him. And as we speak, Kwame Appiah could be suspended from his show. Simply because he engaged himself in the demonstration. The Galamsey demonstration, yes.
Are you serious?
Meanwhile, Kwame Appiah Kubi was fighting against Galamsey during the Ekuonaba era. And his boss was very happy with it. Unfortunately, when we got to the era of John Dramani Mahama, he's not done anything untoward. Just by being part of the demonstration that seeks to fight for the next generation, he's been suspended. Kwame Appiah Kubi, Mr.
The Kesben guy?
The Kesben guy has been suspended.
What is the reason for the suspension?
The suspension is that he's engaged in activities that will bring disrepute to the company.
And what is the demonstration?
What is the activity? I mean, joining demonstration that seeks to fight for our well-being and the next generation.
A journalist joins a demonstration?
A journalist joins a demonstration. Even some journalists in multimedia, when they try to join it, this government put a serious hit on their managers to caution them. And you know what is happening behind the scenes. Very intolerant bunch of people. Very intolerant.
But they said Akufo-Addo was intolerant.
Not about President Mahama, although he has this smooth face, but very intolerant bunch of people. They are very intolerant. I fought Ekuonada's government for 8 years.
Yeah.
It was my government.
Captain
it was my
Smart. He fought it.
But this government is very intolerant, Paul. Very, very heavily intolerant people.
So we should all be careful, eh?
Oh, me, I don't care. I will live my life.
I'm going to say, I have to speak to some other people, but I want us to continue the conversation behind the scenes.
Right.
So I'll ask you to leave me and they will come. And let me take the text messages whilst you leave.
I see you have How to Win Elections by Quintus Cicero.
Why did you tell them?
That's one of my favorite books.
I've been reading this book, How to Win Elections.
A letter written by Quintus Cicero.
Yes. How to Win Elections. I'm not running for any election. You have to teach me Kete, but we'll talk about that.
No problem, brother.
Okay. So let's take the text messages now. Okatakyie, please wait for me.
Oh, Tiaradaya with them Tumsonku, Comikroma Krasi, Comikroma Chimasium, Dumso Ekuye, and Kaya to Galamsey. Etiasuna was Nayabaisu. I had a code that issue. One could tell the Chroma Lambella, Honwosu, on the Galamsey. Now, bet Trankan, Obetina be a hot, they walk on no air condition, air bowl. Nasa Uswa. I better than a gun and Nina or Brewer Crown the Biaka. Forest in Yanni yet to good. What did Yamin Pachanagana for a Randy Abbey? What you know any mobile and once walk Coco comb. I can't pass a much cocoa for a careful. Or can't pass them. And then Prachania as looking for the baby. No, what I'm just going now at the Massa Media Fish Mobile. Moment I'm Mr. Media Fish, I had my bank, or Manaji business bank, and yet I'm just getting a command. Now Bushian Chamfa, Bolem Mafias. I'm a Bushian for Nelton Westia. No more Jessica. They say, Salman Penny Banana and Iswadi in his last 4 months. That's an Iswadi. And on the first 4 months, that's a party child. Means to me, but your man Penia. Means to the man said, Obio Bayan, a bank from Biano, Mamani Caponi will means to me the more free. But what I say, because my penny the awful. Sapad put 300 million koto pad ebe chiche na pad na ukwa our man penny wo de bank here first was subsidize no ne bo dey send the ton gara ade na Ghana tisa ade na Ghana ye hu sa san ye beji o man penny ye wo so reset no eni ehu enadum so sister me meti ekuraku ha na meti ekura na meti no enne piote ya Advocacy anavena 5 seed back. Mo think I say na moto no nti kurase ho na ho de e bia me betran kan na me bre na me se me kurase akogima home na akọ na hot ya na bank na wa Ghana ya ko top mu nti sister the common central for no say no mon compromise because we dey also yen central into a compromise aduane na e ba na ye contaminated ensuo no bibia ba mokono enya unim so adigu mokoso amote unim so adigu mokoso enya adwana ba nto so unim so adigu so me firi kwa bibre bremu no eno an yesaguso na bremu so na contaminated ye kwa na buy mo si ye betimi ni 1 week pe a stop Galamsey o ba ye no 4 months no afa dia say boye dia some minister ti akonwa chi no osu minister ne wura ko say e dia na ma na wura ho ye officer Galamsey ko ni krom ko minister ni krom ko Galamsey me me see about them about free on ko ni krom na so minister who krom no ya no o ya Galamsey wo krom en kan tu Galamsey e ti hanu abetre su ne anya ba isu en kan tu Galamsey e ti esu na wo su na ya ba isu e dan ko da isu won ko tire di krom elembele honu osu o di ya Galamsey no na obetran kan obetran ba bia ho de ho akono air condition air bowl na se usu a ebede na Ghana ni na wo bre wa kura na bia kan forest nya na ye tugu na gold board no makoti aso fa so idea minu mi gold board what them $270 million na dia ma small boys amijanfi owo opposition pro tamne yira ne to so ko America omu kwa mu na hotel no hwe ne yire to etie de ya $270 million akodi akwala keto amijanfi nsem no e ma wo Ghana no ye kwa nya bia wale sa sika akono ma ne benya bia wale enya mpra twe ne ayi esre kwinfo ne be yi no what am sika we nyina e dia masa amijanfi small boy mo me sa amijanfi so ya adwuma ben o manager business ben ayetam sika nyina akoma no na abusuan chemfa bole mafias amabusuan fo na atwa ho ahia na mu sika ye die na Galamsey ase Ghana mu de mu bedidi na ye aka na me wo kom akura se akwa se ye nyina nanti me afaka ya nanti afra kura be krom me abeta wo ba so krom ade ye kwa na bai madam woni do nim doko a abenya de to ahye and so the 24-hour economy ba and kadia economy na ehwam na efe so mampani so 300 million Ghana cedis na $20 million who to be from your company and can minimum mampani na can reach bia me be part company na me cheme maiwa na we de wa ko gina kolegon and wasisa hemfoni asofa atorofo me say and amutu na mu me say me wa ka be pad me kwa me ko first ye nananom ma ye nyama mu chima motam kra yehu eden na de tam adani eyi e friend say jamboli ni ato te say de check your chest pom check your chest pom otu no so no nim say nim goalkeeping ya and the end acquire that Brussels acquire that Brussels rich or folly or to form out of mama what the my mama what the poor no my and I will follow out to form so I said no I told no so and you were Papandia Canyon and in Nigeria for first no for rotation me mean your partisan but not for rotation now I know my what you say and a mama by Nigeria for say ya no my pepe and a card road so kwa na ko bia nti Nigeria for say ya be no man pania or to party cause no ma say so what you say o ti ahwede ya udam tum so nku komi kro ma kurase komi kro ma chimasuem ko dum so ayeku yan ko le dum so o ti ahwe air condition e gogu so ti say Russia wo no a chile na udidi mi mpeche na udidi mi mpeche no yanya yetie kwa ne beda ni bi o ma pani bi ba 8 years JSS for entry registration fee o ba ye no o wa di 5 million JSS news etie busa say so man pani na no oti so ko say sika no no ko fa no bai na de oba ya o yira awofo agi and now ba ko free education no ko ya na de ato sign na tua 1005 adai mi ba be research mi be ye ni ye 24 hour economy ye be didi am peche do ko ne nchira mba yefo do FM for no mo do FM for no advancements or tam do ko ayidu ato sani board or tam pan no ato and advancements o ba ye o jo share eto ikom nya mi be tua ye nyina ka e wi ase abrabo bia ye bo no abrabo bia bo no wi ase no atamo o mini aba abusia for abrabo bia bo na atamo o etu di oso yensem troni wanu tutom mi ameti akrasi boga manu nu ba bia nti o kotam doko abeto no media so o kotam pan no abeto ni ato ya to abetia abanya wa shisho men na de oba ya doko ne bo ne koso eno mu nyina ikom mama ben sem trofo ahin pa almost me kwa make 20 that means mon sem trajwan de mo nya no maye ne maye bosha ba mo ko she party bi achi oba ni appoint mo ma didi am peche enya sa mo didi am peche na Ghana fo na ebre Randy Abe wati wa no aye nani mobomobo ene won so akokoko ekokan kwasi asem a kire kokofo atwafo o kan kwasi asem o be bi ti so si e man nye o tu kokom 3100 ena wo si o aban ne ye nipa boni ni onyi Ghana fo etuba no be reset na uba obetum 6000 uba ye no enka wanya kura no tum ko 4000 afedi Randy Abe watam akonya sikam wonim say o kwa Randy Abe na tadi ehye no eni akonyo te so ye pe Randy Abe tadi ehye oso de kwa ene Randy Abe agu so bra bra de be bore
ana who Randy Abe o uti TV so dabia ana agufuado wudu akonya nam na no say wow okay agufuado wudu akonya nam ane kokko ase agakko Roma fo ne ye no agakko no twadua keto bi no atra so na oto afo wo se ku afo na ebre wo po ero akofa Mustafa che leather che papa bi ana wote so ana wo dwa wanum ana naked days no mutu kokko mo ba mo ka che se kokko na 65 no na wunim mo ba no de tro abaje say Richard Ofori Damahama and the pad no what bad and now for sorry I make make say from mo hanu guasiani Muslim school fees make say bad come on bad 13 cities and 15 cities movement talk and another sitting president at the party cause no was so at when the people mind at reset na na mo dey ban any na say mumuza maybe some challenge Ghana for drivers and we be on cause say first near nama udu baby a na say open so we overheat ya utimi wura bush asansuo and na dey be catch me say one mail chrome na say car keto enyo overheat ya so we metop water and about to confirm